Alu trash, alu feed, the garbage disposal of the team sometimes.
Oh man.
Well, a lot of times the real pros know him as the king of lifesteal, the nigga that will wipe out enemy team's backline. Assuming there's no tank hiding in the bush waiting to seize him somewhere, of course. This monster that Moonton keeps locked up in a cage. Every time they buff him, they nerf him to God's green heaven, turning my boy the Chad Den of Mobile Legends into one of the weakest characters of the tier list in terms of gameplay. But what happens when we look outside of gameplay? Is he still this beast of a man? What happens when we take a look at this man's backstory, his lore? Where does he rank amongst these gods, these freaking OP mages, colossal, freaking Cyclops have a whole universe in his pouch, apparently. Where does our boy Alucard rank? That's what we'll be discussing in this video today. Let's get into it. Yo YouTube, KDA Gamers here. I'm your boy Raikai and today I'm gonna be your host. So look bro, ML has lore. Shocking, right? I bet you didn't know. Since most of y'all players just play the characters, don't even know these characters one bit outside of their gameplay. Heck, y'all barely know them in game. I'm just saying, some of y'all are trash. But today that's where we come in. We over here at KDA Gamers were given the official mission from the Land of Dawn to rank every single character in MLBB history and how strong they actually are in lore. And me and my team decided, well, since we're gonna kick it off, might as well we started with our OG. That's where our boy, the official kingpin of lifesteal himself, Alucard, the OG, comes in. Let's get into it. Now let's take a trip down memory lane. Before Alucard was even Alucard, who was he? Well, he was Dante. And I don't mean he looked like Dante. I mean this boy put Dante in the freaking game. And after a lot of lawsuits, I'm assuming, Alucard was farmed. He was reworked in his own character but still retained a lot of kits from the OG that he was inspired from. The DMC MC himself, Dante. Now let's see what my boy still kept over after his change. Let's see. A demonic sword he inherited from his father. Sorry, no. It's a demon hunter sword inherited from his father. Wonder where he got that from. Godlike endurance, a demonic hand, a suit of vendetta against demons, Virgil's blue suit. You get the drift. You can see that my boy has his inspirations, alright? Now, while most of Alu's backstory is about his father being a strong general and going deep into enemy backlines to save Tigreal, and his platoon that was too eager for glory apparently, sacrificing himself in the process. While this is juicy backstory, this does not help us scale in Alucard, so we won't cover that. That will be a part of Tigreal's backstory if anything. Subscribe for that Tig video dropping soon, I promise. It will get you out, I promise. But this does help us in understanding Alucard's drive in wanting to be strong, since his father's heroic act was seen as insubordination, or deemed as insubordination, just because the upper heads didn't want the blame for whatever happened. So let's see. Bro has no mom, his dad is allegedly dead, spiky blonde hair, sword given to him by his father's best friend. Now the only thing missing is a goal. Oh wait.
I shall not rest until I restore my father's glory.
And like that, man's have the perfect recipe to be an anime protagonist. Now, how does bro scale? Well, we know for one, he was taught a few things by Tigreal while in the Monastery of Light. While growing up, Tigreal would come and give bro a lot of tips, you know, and Alucard began respecting him as an elder brother figure, right? And just by Tigreal speaking alone, he saw Alucard as this real talented youngster. But not only did Tigreal praise Alucard, and you gotta be really talented for Tigreal to praise you, but all the Monastery of Light, even throughout the Monian Empire, Alucard was being praised as this genius when it comes to battle, just while growing up. Most of the orphans that enter the Monastery of Light, Alucard was actually recommended to join this order, and he joined with no hesitation because he wanted to clear his father's name. That was his goal. And with a drive like that and a talent that he has, he was bound to be one of the most terrifying demon hunters ever seen. Amongst his peers, while searching to see if any of them had that type of talent, I was shocked because one, not Granger, not Natalia, Xavier, Fanny, Vendetta, none of them had this claim, this portrayal of just being just this rare, talented, never seen before genius of the Monastery of Light. Only Allah has this to his name. So when he finally graduated, that boy left a monster. I would even say that when he graduated from the Monastery of Light, he was already above Tigreal. If I should think of any other hero in Mobile Legends that had this type of portrayal being a child growing up, it would have been Dirat if he was not stolen by Alice. Since Dirat's birth, I'm not sure what his name would have been, but since Dirat's birth was prophesied to be the end of the Abyss, so Dirat had this next level of talented, probably he would have been more compatible with the Light's Order than Sylvana. So that's where it would have probably ended up wiping out the Abyss. But more on that in a Dirat video. Back to Alucard. Again, none of Alucard's peers has his type of portrayal. Even his title while being in the Monastery of Light just outshined him. For one, even though he was an Arbiter of Light, in that he was in that rank of military, so was Xavier. I'm not sure what rank Granger was, but even while being in the same rank, none of them were matching that. None of them had that legendary status. And in both his and Tigreal's backstory, we see that Tigreal is trying to recruit him into the Monastery of Light, recruit him back, and trying to give his leader role to Alucard, and Alucard refuses it, flat out rejects it. And even still, just you being able to get such praises from Tigreal ranks you way above the rest. Tigreal sees the rest as just students. Only Alucard he sees on this pedestal. The only two people I think I can compare Alucard to at this point in the story within the Monastery of Light would be Leomord and Lord Arcadius from the Richburg, from Kingdom of Richburg. Mainly because these two knights are in the front line between the Monian Empire and the Abyss. So they're guarding, they're literally the first line of defense against the Abyss before it even reaches the Monian Empire. So based off that alone, and the Abyss not being able to wipe them out for over 100 years, just this feat alone put the Knights of Richburg over the Monian Empire. To me, personal opinion here, defending Richburg and stopping the Abyss directly while not having a lot of support from the Monian Empire takes a level of strength, and Leomord and Arcadius definitely shown that. And the only reason why the Monian Empire even saw the Abyss is because foul play from Alice. Let's just say that. Anyways, I think this is where the Alucard potential caps at. Legendary status up with Lord Arcadius and Leomord. Now, after some deep dive in some barren land territory by himself, because that's what Alucard does, he was injured by a magic blade. Now, this magic blade, more than likely demonic, seems to have injured Alucard with some form of demonic transformation where his whole entire body was about to be transformed Not sure what into, but if I had to guess, I would say it would be the same transformation that attacked Lord Arcadius. But funny enough, Muton actually blessed us with an Alucard skin the season. I don't remember what season it is, but the seasonal skin for Alucard is probably that transformation that would have taken place if Alucard did not build his gauntlet. Because in that skin, we don't see Alucard with his gauntlet. So probably that's what Alucard would have been turned into. And it does look very similar to what takes place with Lord Arcadius in Leomord's flashback and the new order of Ridgeburg or whatever that cutscene was. More on that in the Leomord video upcoming, so subscribe for that one. If you don't like Tig, subscribe for the Leomord. I know y'all Leomord fans out there. We lurk in dark places, we know.
Despair is darker than death.
Now, back on the gauntlets. Apparently the gauntlets that he made was made by a smith. Now, I'm not sure if the smith came from the same village or the same clan as Terizla's clan. However, that smith actually did a good job. Because with these gauntlets, Alucard actually gained the ability to control the darkness within his body to a certain extent. Now our boy is the official king of lifesteal with these gauntlets. Yes, this is where he gained that mechanic from, officially in the lore. And very few people in the Lights Order that are not from the Abyss have this ability. One, because it's demonic. It's something that you mainly see from Alice, Bauman, Thomas, those types. It's not something you usually see in the Lights Order, okay? Now, because of this new demonic right hand and darkness flowing through his vein and all of that, he started to see a little bit of negativity from the Money and Empire. The Knights be talking behind his back, talking about him and how he's a heretic and blah blah blah. You know what Alucard said? F them, I'm going to slay demons on my own term. Now my boy is officially out about looking for demons by himself. Demons started to fear this man's name. Now, it's after his long reign of just being a vigilante out here, just slaying demons wherever he goes and purposely going further and further into the abyss, getting surrounded, sometime near to the brink of death, but because he has the ability to life drain now, he's basically, oh, I'm a vampire now. He's basically a vampire now. Being hard to kill, and whenever the demons surround him and think they finally have the upper hand, no, he fights and outlasts and just kills them all. And with this, news travels back to the Money and Empire. This gets back to Tigral's ears. He tried to invite him over and over again. Alucard doesn't want to hear it. Who actually made Alucard return back to the Empire was when he saved Harit from minions of Hellclut. So Hellclut, you better spin back for your boys, cause Alucard whacked them niggas.
Come get it back in blood.
After that, that's when he returned, and the lore kind of ends there for Alucard. Now, with all of these things, those come with a lot of feats, alright? Cause one, you don't just get surrounded by these abyssal demons and walk out nearly fine. Like, these things destroy, like, even Ridgeburg got destroyed. These things are super strong. We don't know which other demons are in the abyss, like notable demons, aside from like the ones that are in the game. So you have your Selena, you have your Bauman, you have your Alice. Outside of those, we don't really know the no names and all of that, but we do know they are strong, and if they are on the weaker side, they're on the plenty side. For someone like Alucard to be surrounded by them constantly and find his way out, this puts his strengths on another level. Now, in terms of on-screen, we don't really have a lot for most of these characters. Alucard is one of the few we do have on screen, and with him being on screen, we have a little bit of feats here. So let's see. In one scene, we see him intercept an arrow where we saw the whole shot. Alucard is nowhere in sight, and yet still he managed to intercept the arrow, blocks it point blank away from Mia's face. No idea where he was, but just him being able to do that puts him at hypersonic if we were lowballing it. Let's just say lowball. Strength-wise, we see him always surrounded by orcs and whatever hellish demons coming out of the abyss. And he's covering his own, and he's taking down every single one of these beings with tough hides, by the way, with one swing of his sword. Granted, it's a great sword. However, it's not like when you would chop down a normal human being. These are orcs. They are known for physiques. These are abyssal demons. They're known for having strong physiques. Him being able to just one-shot these creatures, it means his physical strength is up there. His physical strength is up there. Then when it comes to like fighting other like named characters, one of the only ones I have seen him like go head to head with, even though we did not see the actual fight, is with Balman. Now, with Balman, I can assume that he was either injured in that fight or at least out of commission, because we see in the Lightborn trailer or Sylvana's cinematic cutscene, even though the timelines might be different. However, I doubt Alice and Geralt and Thomas would invade without bringing Balman there. So only thing I can assume is during that fight within the Project Next video where we see Alucard and Balman about to clash, either Balman died in that clash or he was injured because he's not in the cinematic for Sylvana. Now again, you can argue that the timing is different, so they didn't think about it, but in my mind I just don't see the Abyss making a move on the Monian Empire and no Balman in sight. Makes sense why Alice isn't there, but it doesn't make sense why Balman isn't there, because Alice is a maid. Schemes is what she do. She can fight, but schemes and huge AoE spells is what she do. So it makes sense we don't see her in that trailer. No sense why we don't see Balman there. So in terms of just feats alone, we know one, he's over, well, almost everybody is over Balman. Hey, Balman is D tier. That's his ranking from now on. However, as of recording this video and doing a lot of research, turns out there was a fight in Mobile Legends Adventure between Alucard and Tigreal. I'm not sure if this fight was on screen, but there was a lot of discussion about this fight on Reddit, and apparently it did happen. Now, I have searched the entire Google wiki looking for this fight, so it probably was just a timed event or something like that, or they just had it in the lore of Mobile Legend Adventures. I cannot find the lore for that game for some reason. However, everyone just concluded that Alucard mollywopped the floor with Tigreal. Now, if you don't know, Tigreal is not a tank in the lore. He's a fighter in the lore. Game-wise, he doesn't do damage. In the lore, my man Tigreal will mollywop a lot of people that you wouldn't believe. So, him being able to take down Tigreal, and from what I was getting from this discussion, it wasn't even a close match. That put Alucard way up there. There's a difference between speculating, because in the lore we can speculate all we want, but when there's a feat and the feat is an actual defeat of someone strong, that's just a different type of confirmation. So just based off that alone, then you have him amongst his peers. Again, no one has his level of notoriety. So on the tier list, I'll say he's leading the A tier. In the Lightborn squad, he's the striker of that squad. In the Sylvana cinematic, we see him like take on a horde of demons in the middle while everyone else is hand back. He's holding them off until Tigreal comes, because Tigreal is a huge AoE. He's a better tanker than Alucard, obviously. He's meant to fight armies instead of Alucard, but Alucard, because he's such a chad, dives in anyways. 1v9s, almost got injured, but it's Alucard. He will recover. He'll lifesteal back from it and all of that. So based on all of this, Alucard should be the strongest human in Mobile Legends right now. And when I say human, I'm talking like regular schmegular light heroes. So You have your Liam modes, you have your Arcadius, which is not in the game, you have your Tigreals, those type of people. Amongst all of them, if Alucard is not number one, he should be at least in the top 3, because we have scaling for Tigreal and how he would scale in the Northern Vales. So just based off of that, that eliminates a whole region. Alucard is stronger than Tigreal, so Alucard obviously almost stronger than everybody in the Northern Vale, unless you're going to include like Freya, which we can't, because Freya is a god. Anyways, back to this. Alucard would be the strongest human to date right now on my tier list. However, this can be changed depending on me reading the other characters' lore. If it turns out I read like 10 other characters that are human and relative to Alucard, meaning they're in that tier of power to Alucard's tier, because even Mobile Legends lore has a tier list. You have your gods, then you have like your human tier, then you have your middle tier. So even in lore you have different tiers. Alright, so let me know what y'all think about where I rank him. Definitely want to know that in the comment sections. And yeah, look forward, just list who y'all want me to do next, and whoever had the most likes, because right now the series is just starting. So whoever had the most likes on a video, I'll just prompt them up to do next. However, right now I'm probably going to do someone from the Abyss. Meanwhile, this video is up, getting views and all of that. So y'all just vote in the comments and let's just see where we go from here. This has been KDA Gamers, and your host Raikai is out.